Alright, so the day's here, everything's packed and I'm ready to go. So this is a video on how that trip to Phuket went. Also at the end of the video I've got a little bonus clip for people who are wondering how things are going along in Phuket right now. Alright, with that, let's go. So I got to the airport bright and early, and it looked like there were a number of other passengers there as well. I guess air travel is finally picking up. Unfortunately though, the check-in took a while, so I'd be prepared for that. It looked like many people didn't have their documents prepared, they were missing documents or they just didn't have the required documents, so they were holding the queue up quite a bit. I checked in online, but it doesn't seem to have made much of a difference, since the counter still needs to make sure that you have all your documents on you. Seriously though, make sure you have every single one of the documents I mentioned in the previous video. Have them in a file even. Travelling is stressful enough these days. Make things easier on yourself. So after a bit of breakfast, I'm on the plane and I'm on my way. I haven't flown in quite a while, but I was pretty surprised at the in-flight food. The choices were pork porridge and scrambled eggs. So I ordered the eggs and this is what I got. I'm not even 100% sure that there was eggs. Also, it was just a thin covering of what might be eggs over a bunch of soggy potato wedges. And this was all served with these really weird wooden utensils. I mean, the fork wasn't even sharp enough to pick the sausage up, and the vague approximation of the knife was a joke. All that aside though, the captain finally made the announcement and I'm finally here. So I'm thinking, air travel definitely must have changed since the pandemic, right? Well, thanks to these guys who looked like they were afraid to miss their stop and rushed to stand and collect their luggage, even before the plane doors were open, I know that at least some things don't change. So I had a look out the window and I was actually pretty impressed with what I think was the cleanup or decontamination crew all kitted out. Although I did find it a bit odd that it looked like they were being searched for guns. So getting right into the terminal, the first stop was an open seating area where someone would ask to see if you had all your documents on you. The very same documents you had to show to even get on your flight in the first place. And if for some reason you wanted to pay the tourist tax and exchange your currency in the airport, there is a currency exchange right at the door, the very moment you enter the terminal. Right, so up next, because this is Thailand, right after the previous area where they check if you have all your documents, this next part you queue up to have the very same documents checked right again. I mean, they've already done it twice, so why not, right? And finally, we get to immigration. There was a little hiccup here because right after filming the segment, a police officer came over to point the no camera sign out to me and to tell me that filming was not allowed. I thought he was really helpful, so I'll point it out here for you guys as well. On the bright side, immigration was pretty snappy, none of the long queues I've been accustomed to. So after immigration, you go down an escalator and then that's baggage claim right there. After baggage claim, you've got the telco, so I was in a bit of rush so I didn't manage to record that part, but there's definitely a True and definitely an AIS shop there, so get your SIM cards. There are people discussing it on Reddit on whether you get a free SIM card or some such at the airport, and I can definitely tell you, no you don't. You're gonna have to pay for it. After you exit the terminal, we get to the little white booth where the PCR test is conducted. Pretty quick and painless affair all in all. After that, it's waiting for your hotel's arranged transport to pick you up. Took about an hour to get there, but I finally checked in. I got in on the not so quarantine free program, so the hotel said to wait in my room until the government sends the PCR test results over. I took the test at about noon local time and I received my test results at just after 8 PM. And so that was my trip from Singapore to Phuket. Please like and subscribe if you kind of enjoyed what you watched, and I'm going to be doing a series of videos where I'm going to be slowly traveling up to Chiang Mai, so there's going to be more videos on that along the way. And if you're wondering about the following clip, well, I did my usual thing where I don't pack toiletries along for a trip, I usually get it from a 7-Eleven when I get there. So I took a taxi, and it just so happened that the taxi dropped me off at the 7-Eleven next to this area. And I was really hungry, so I just had dinner, and I was super tired, so I just came back to the hotel to sleep. Well, have a look and let me know what you think. Bye.